Hey everyone, Vince here. Today I'm diving into a whole bunch of new reward apps to see if they're actually worth the time and effort. Hope you enjoy. We have Royal Bitcoin Solitaire. Now with these little type of Satoshi games, everyone, you really have to be realistic, okay? This is another one of those little play and earn Satoshi apps that allows you to generate tiny fractions of Bitcoin in return for watching ads, essentially, at least in my opinion. Anyway, this is what it looks like when you first launch it up. At the top of the screen, you have your streak system, as well as your Satoshi balance and your in-game currency. And obviously below that, you have your little Solitaire cards. Now what I will say, everyone, is that the app's actually pretty decently designed, alright? If you've ever played Solitaire, you should be right at home. But what really matters is the actual earning rate. So for today's test, I obviously started off with 0 Satoshi. I played for about an hour and a half and generated 51 Satoshi in total. And taking a look at the withdrawal area, you'll notice here my total winnings is 51 Satoshi and the redeemed winnings is also 51 Satoshi, and that's because I withdrew to my Zebedee wallet. And I'm very happy to say that yes, it did arrive straight away to my Zebedee wallet, everyone. The total of 51 Satoshi equaling 6 cents worth of USD currency. Now realistically, is that a good trade-off of time? In most cases, no, at least in my opinion here in Australia, but again, in your own country, you may have better rates than I do. Realistically, if you do like solitaire games, I do feel like this is a pretty fun one, but again, you have to keep expectations realistic. I definitely feel like you're looking at around 10 cents per hour though, at least I was here in Australia, which all in all is a bit disappointing, but that's generally how these little Satoshi apps go. Anyway, that's Royal Bitcoin Solitaire, let's move on. I just thought I'd say, if you enjoy what I do here on YouTube every single week, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm still recovering from my hand operation, everyone, so I should hopefully be back sooner or later. YouTube's still crazy with policy changes. Either way, thank you so much for all the support. We have an app called Mahjong Match. Now, anytime I see a Mahjong app, everyone, I usually get a bit worried, okay? This is what it looks like when you first launch it up. Top of the screen, you have your diamond-based currency, as well as a timer that counts down from 3 hours, and your supposed PayPal currency. Now I'm going to make this as fast as possible, everyone, because sadly there's not much to cover here. It's a very basic Mahjong app. All you need to do is match the little tiles together. You guys understand. I think the biggest problem I have is that advertisements play every single 30 to 60 seconds automatically. Speaking of which, there's one right there. At the bottom of the screen, you have various abilities there, all requiring you to watch advertisements, of course. By now, you guys should understand how these little play and earn apps work, alright? Now, is this one even worth the time? I played for an hour and a half straight and managed to generate 6 cents worth of USD currency, and I withdrew that currency on the 14th of September. And here's the thing, everyone, it never actually arrived. So at least in my opinion, it's completely broken and a waste of time. Of course, that's my own opinion here in Australia. You can do whatever you want in your own country, alright? Fun fact, these developers also had Fruity Link Harmony that never actually paid me either. In my own opinion, I'd stay away from these guys at the moment. Let's move on to the next application. Next up, we have Cash Bubble. Now, this is what it looks like when you first launch it up. Top of the screen, we have our coin-based currency with a timer counting down from 3 hours and our supposed PayPal currency. Underneath that, we have our in-game currency of diamonds and coins, as well as a live system. And underneath that, we have our daily activities. So you can think of this as like a mission section, everyone. I'm sure you understand how this works. Essentially just influencing you to play more to try and get a little bit of the in-game currency. Now, technically this is a puzzle game, so you can start off with extra items to help you throughout the level in case you're stuck. And as I was talking, an advertisement played, and that's because this has the same system, everyone. 30 to 60 second interruptive ads. Always fun. Now, this is what the actual level looks like. So at the top of the screen, you have your coin-based balance, as well as the level that you're on. And below that, we have the little balls that we have to merge in order to actually make some progress here. Again, a very straightforward concept. I'm sure you guys don't need a tutorial on how to play a game like this. Again, another ad. At the bottom of the screen, you have your items. To the right of that, you have a chest-based system. The more progress you make, the more that bar fills up. Now, you're going to notice this little bouncing gift here, or whatever this is, with the PayPal logo on it. This is just your cash out area, okay? Now, the minimum cash out, at least here in Australia, is 1 cent worth of USD currency. Here's one of the little mini games that may appear while you're making some progress. Again, it's just a spinning wheel system, everyone. You know how this works. You of course have to watch the advertisement, and then you can get something called a super win, everyone. Here you can see that we can double up the prize that we landed on if we watch the ad. So let's just see how that looks. All right, what are we gonna get here, everyone? Let's see. 1,200 of the coins, not too bad. So everyone, realistically, that is all there is to this application. So after all that, how did the actual tests go? Well, everyone, I started off my test at 2 hours and 59 minutes, played for about an hour and 15 minutes of time, and generated 65,000 of the coins. coins. And once that timer was up, I was left with 4 cents worth of USD currency. I then withdrew that 4 cents worth of USD, and I was paid within around 24 hours of time. At least again, here in my experience and in Australia. So reward-wise, extremely low, and a little bit disappointing again for the time needed. But at least now you know about it and you can do whatever you want with that information. So that's Cash Bubble. Let's move on to the next app. Next up, we have Fruit Match. Now, Fruit Match is very straightforward. This is what it looks like when you first launch it up. Top of the screen, we have our coin-based currency, as well as a 3-hour timer and our supposed PayPal currency. Underneath that, you have a diamond-based currency as well, which really doesn't have too much relevance, and a little slot machine element. Now, below that, we have our fruit. All you need to do is match the fruit together on the rows, everyone. It's really not too difficult. Here you can see, apparently, I've just won 180 of the coins, so tapping claim is, of course, going to play an advertisement straight away, so you better get used to ads. You also have these like little tappable objects as well. This time, it's a floating coin. Tapping on that again will give you instant coins. And now at this point, all we need to do is select the fruit and select where we want it to go. Again, bringing up the coins. So pretty much every single 20 to 30 seconds, you're going to get prompted to watch an advertisement essentially. So once you match that row, it should be all done. There you go. Now, at random times, little mini games will pop up as well, essentially with the same concept here of just trying to get you to watch the ads via the coin system. Like, this is a lucky number one here. Let me just scratch this for you so you can see exactly what's going to happen. There you go. We now got 712 coins this time. I'm going to try and smash out this level for you now, everyone. This time we have a spinning prize wheel. And again, 675 coins. Okay, so I think you've got the gist of it now. Let me just break down my test. So I started today's test off with 3 hours on the timer almost, played for about an hour and 10 minutes, and managed to clock up 52,000 of the coins. Once that timer ran out, it converted into a whopping 5 cents worth of USD. Again, really hammering home here that the best you're probably going to get, at least in my opinion and experience, is roughly 5 to 10 cents USD per hour, okay? It's really giving me Givey vibes. Remember the Givey apps, everyone? This is what it kind of reminds me of. There are abilities at the bottom of the screen that you can use as well to try and get you through the levels if you do become stuck. And at least here in Australia, the minimum cash out is 1 single cent worth of USD currency. On the plus side, everyone, I did withdraw that 5 cents worth of USD and it did arrive to my PayPal account within about 3 hours or so. So that was nice to see all in all. That's my review on Fruit Match. You can do whatever you want with the information. Let's move on. Last up, I thought I'd give you a little bonus here talking about PollApp. If you have no idea what PollApp is, essentially it's a get paid to platform that features surveys and a playtime reward system. The rates are going to be completely different, but here you can see that I have various surveys willing to give me straight up currency for completing them, with the highest survey giving me $2.46 for 18 minutes of my time. And when it comes to survey prices, these are actually really good, everyone, at least in my opinion, okay? And of course in my country. Make sure you fill out the profile questions at the bottom of the screen, everyone. I filled out 142 questions out of 144. This will give you the highest chance to get the best surveys on the platform, in my opinion, and hopefully reduce disqualifications. Now, in regards to the playtime rewards section, where they're claiming $10 plus, we have 2 different options available. Supposedly, 1,000 of the coins converts into $1.54 worth of Australian currency, and you can convert your coins at 500. I have either the playtime rewards area or the My Chips offer wall. And before we dive into the actual offers themselves, let me just break down the withdrawal options. So we have PayPal withdrawals starting from $1 worth of Australian currency, as well as Revolut from $2.35. Virtual Visa card, 78 cents, and we can also donate as well if we want to. But that $1 PayPal here in Australia is excellent. They also have competitions as well. Think of it as like a leaderboard system, where supposedly the top 4 users that complete the most surveys will earn a certain amount of bonus. And looking at the prices here, everyone, keeping in mind that 1,000 of the coins is $1.54, sadly I only have 2 opportunities at the moment. One is puzzles and survivals for up to 16,800 of the coins, which is roughly like $20 or so, and Sunshine Island up to 39,000 of the coins, which is like $40 to $50 or so. Now, in regards to the My Chips offer wall, I really do wish that the prices were increased, everyone. I definitely know for a fact, at least here in Australia, I can get much better offers, alright? And the sad thing is, There's not many offers to begin with. I think there's around like 12 of them or so here in my country, with the highest prices being around $50 or so for very hard offers. So great prices for surveys, but not great prices for the playtime rewards offers. But something I will say, everyone, last time I cashed out $2.88, it arrived to my PayPal account within about 10 minutes or so. So at least here in Australia, PollApp is still a solid little application, at least for surveys. That's my updated review on PollApp. Check out my channel for almost 1,000 reviews. I'll catch you all later. Stay safe out there.